For 22 years, Mayor Richard M. Daley was the mayor of Chicago and basically had carte blanche to run the city as he saw fit.
He loved having these ribbon-cutting ceremonies.
Police stations, fire stations, new schools.
There's all these pictures of Mayor Daley in a hard hat. He was going to improve the quality of life all over the city by investing in city neighborhoods. One program he had was called Neighborhoods Alive and had a little exclamation point after the Neighborhoods Alive.
We have flowers on the street medians.
Ornate traffic lights.
He loved wrought iron fences.
He was doing that with borrowed money.
About $10 billion. It's actually going to end up costing the city about $18 billion. Who's going to pay for it? And the answer to that question is future generations. My name is Jason Grotto. I'm an investigative reporter for the Chicago Tribune.
My name is Patricia Callahan, and I'm an investigative reporter at the Chicago Tribune.
My name is Heather Gillers. I'm a reporter at the Chicago Tribune.
My name is George Papajohn. I'm the investigations editor at the Chicago Tribune.
The main type of bond that the city of Chicago issued were general obligation bonds. They're like a mortgage.
So you spread the payments out often over 30 years. For the same reason you wouldn't borrow to build a library. Future generations are going to go to that library, are going to cross over that bridge.
Okay, well, they borrowed all this money. Where did it all go?
What we found out is that all these books, and there are like 20 at least, they're all wrong.
What we found is that the city was more and more relying on borrowing to pay for operations. This is a no-no in municipal finance.
Things like dog waste bags. Does anybody remember that?
$7 million for landscaping medians.
Medians and the flowers, those were paid for with bond money. Flowers die, and we're gonna be paying for those flowers 30 years from now. This is how your money's being spent. This is how your kids' money is gonna be spent in the future. This is how your grandchildren's money is gonna be spent.
The school system went on a massive building spree, even after their own demographic reports show that enrollment was declining. They just finished closing more than 40 schools. They've laid off teachers. You can drive around the city and see schools that are empty with for sale sign on them.
The Chicago Public School reworked the lighting in the entire school. It was over $167,000. At the end of the day, our school got closed down.
We couldn't read the rest of our books.
All the children that were being displaced, they were gonna go to a better school. It didn't happen. Kids got sent to worse schools. Schools that are like not even in their neighborhood. Schools where crime is higher.
One police station we found, they spent almost $60 million.
Chicago added 10 new police stations, each 2 to 4 times larger than the last one, but now has 1,700 fewer cops on the streets.
We have more big shiny buildings, but we have fewer officers on the streets.
Things aren't really that much different under the Emanuel administration. The borrowing has continued at a pretty serious pace. The city can't afford not to borrow. As principal payments were coming due, they would borrow more money and pay those old bonds off with the new bonds. That's scoop and toss. The problem is in finance, nothing is free.
You end up paying a lot of money, and very little of that money is the price of the actual thing.
If 63% of your property taxes are going for debt payments, you don't have a whole lot of money left over to run the city. When the story got published, readers were really outraged. We heard from a ton of people who said, wow, how is it that I'm just learning about this now?
We're providing information that the public otherwise wouldn't have.
These are stories that haven't been told, they need to be told, and we're going to keep doing it.